I believe Qualcomm is a great business and a great investment with a few risks. In my opinion, there is at least 20% upside with Qualcomm stock. Qualcomm has neither under nor outperformed the S&P index except when 3G technology was introduced in 1997-1998. With its expansion in LTE network coverage, I expect Qualcomm stock to outperform the S&P index going forward. To give an overview of the business and identify risks, I'll be using the business model canvas developed by Osterwalder and Pigner. Qualcomm's value proposition is its technology in wireless communication. To protect its technology, the company files patents and incurs legal costs. Also, Qualcomm doesn't manufacture its own chips. So here we see two risks to the business, as a loss in lawsuits or disruption in its supply chain can have disastrous effects on its revenues. This shows how the company earns money. The company licenses the right to use its patented technology and charges royalties on a per product basis. So a key driver is the number of smartphones that are being sold. Also, Qualcomm is well positioned to exploit the Internet of Everything trend, which I have not considered in my valuation. According to IDC, there will be continued growth in smartphones as emerging markets such as China and Latin America adopt 4G standards. This shows why the recent anti-monopoly legislation in China is a major risk. Also on the bottom right, only two customers determine more than 50% of Qualcomm's revenues. Operational performance of Qualcomm has been healthy, with operating margins increasing and remaining steady. We can see the huge increase in sales growth and asset turns due to 3G introduction in 1997 and 1998. I expect a similar situation with the 4G introduction. Here we can see Qualcomm has some of the highest CFROI levels compared to its peers. Here are two valuations done by the HOLT platform. The market implied scenario has CFROI and asset growth levels unlikely from a fundamental and historical perspective. Qualcomm looks cheap when compared to the sector, with a low PE and a high dividend yield. Using a 3-driver flex valuation tool with a 5-year period, I modeled a very conservative scenario. I only took sector medians, which are much lower than what Qualcomm has achieved in the past, and I expect the sales growth to increase for the first 3 years due to 4G introduction that Qualcomm is well positioned for, but it fades to 5% in the last 2. Yet there's still an upside of over 20%. On the macro side, Goldman Sachs research suggests that we are in a cyclical upturn. This bodes well for a cyclical stock such as Qualcomm. However, there is a risk of higher interest rates which can lower valuations through higher discount rates. So to conclude, investors should buy Qualcomm, but they need to be mindful of some of the risks presented.